Hello, Cancer. How are we doing today? My fellow Cancerians, here to do a reading for us all. I wanted to know, please, Spirit, tell me, what do us Cancerians have in store for us this spring? We're already in the middle of it. What can you tell us? Although I guess if you're in the Midwest, you might not feel that way. Please, can you tell us what's in store for spring? What messages do we need to hear? All my crabs out there, or scarabs, if you pay attention to the deep history of it. Alrighty, one more turn. Doobie doobie doop 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 doo doo. Please tell me. Thank you. Let's see what we got going on. Can I get an overall energy for this reading, please? Give me an overall energy. What's something that... Ooh, there we go. The sun. Well, that's the happiest card in the deck. I like to see that. Alrighty. That sun's going to watch over us over there. Nice. That's a good start. Let's see what else we got going on. The Fool. New beginnings. Alright. Oh, you wanted to pop out. What are you? The Emperor. Very nice. That's been showing for us a lot lately, I feel. Does anybody else feel the same way? I feel like this Emperor is always watching over us. Masculine energy, Aries, possible. Got some stuff. I need some more cards. Ooh, King of Wands in reverse. And I'm breaking my camera. A whole lot of stuff wanted to come out. Alright, we got the Four of Cups, Page of Pentacles. Oh, this is actually a bonus card by the same illustrator. Smith was her last name, who did the tarot. And that's called the Lovers. That's kind of like a Lover's card. Hermit. Interesting. The Tower. I don't generally read these in reverse, so, but I don't want to flip it over for some reason. Two of Wands in reverse. Let's get a few mo. Seven of Wands in reverse. The World. Interesting. Ooh. Three of Pentacles. Alright. Okay. Let me think about this. What do we have at the bottom of the deck? Five of Swords. Interesting. Alright. So, obviously we started with the Sun. That's amazing. That's a very good card for all of us. Happiest card in the deck. And that was followed by the Fool, which is new beginnings, or maybe setting off on adventures. Next to that was the Hermit, so I feel like we have a masculine protector here. The King of Wands came out in reverse, right next to the Emperor. So I'm wondering if that's two people or not, but let's get some clarification on that. It could be that this is the Emperor, but it's important that he's in the reverse. To clarify for me, since I don't generally read these in reverse. We have the Four of Cups, so we might be missing an opportunity here. See how this cup is being presented, but he's not even looking at what cup is being presented, so that might be something we need to keep our eye out on. Page of Pentacles in reverse. I usually read the pages as children or messages, so it could be that someone has a child, you or your person or your boss or somebody in your life has a child that is an earth sign. Obviously I went over that. That's the Lovers. The Hermit, I do want to talk about the Hermit really quickly. So that's another protective energy. A lot of people read this as solitude, but that's not necessarily how the description is written by Waite. He writes about the fact that like inside the lantern is the actual star. So this is a card kind of like the star. This is kind of wish fulfillment in a way. Um, Not that I want to put any, I mean, solitude is important for us to, and self-reflection, certainly. But something just to remember is that this is also a protective energy similar to the Emperor. Um, and it says, where you are, I also may be. So keep that in mind. The Tower in reverse, like I said, I usually don't read the major arcana in reverse, but I think the way that it popped out was, I think I freak out when I see the tower. I get scared, like, oh God, I don't want a tower moment. So I think if it came in the reverse, that's a sign to me to say, don't freak out. Sometimes tower moments have to happen, and sometimes something has to fall apart to lead to something better. And if you see actually going this way, we have like we're ignoring some kind of opportunity, but something falls apart, and that leads to collaboration. But I'll get to that. I'm a little hesitant about this last line. Oh, and let's go ahead and cover that world card so nobody gets in my business about having some nakedness over here. But overall, this is really good energy. The Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck, that's, that's winning a fight, but at what cost? So that could be kind of akin to these here. Let's get some clarification. I am feeling this one today. The Tarot of the Sacred Kingdom. So let's do that for some clarification. If I remember how to shuffle. I don't know. Overall, I'm seeing the positive energy, which is good for me. It looks like new opportunities here. I mean, it's kind of lovey-dovey, but it's not super romantic. So this is all very general right now. I'm not getting one either way, whether work or romantic. Ooh, something popped out. Oh my gosh, you guys. Look, the Ten of Cups. That's one of the happiest cards in the deck as well. I wasn't even asking about a particular thing yet, so I'm going to put that to the side. But that would go along with that Sun card over there. So that is important. And the Queen of Swords in reverse. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Oh, I just had, okay, somebody's going to get what's coming to them. So a lot of times the swords to me are like letters, or messages as well. So I'm seeing something coming to light that reveals maybe a truth that someone didn't want revealed. But let's keep going. All right. I'm going to actually start with the bottom line. Can you clarify this Two of Wands and the Seven of Wands both in reverse? Whoa. I feel like those flew out of my hands. Okay, we have the Six of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. Underneath that, we have the Seven of Cups. Okay, so we have wands that get clarified by cups. All right. Okay. So you know what I'm actually seeing here is like he has the globe, he has the world in his hands, and then we have the world here. I won't pull it out because she's half naked. I don't want anyone to get in trouble. And then we have the Seven of Cups. Which is kind of like dreams, and some of the dreams are good and some of them are bad, right? Because in the original tarot we have, one of them has like the snake, and then the other one has the hooded figure. Like there's some are good and some are bad. I look at this as like having too much on your shoulders and maybe also wishing for too much. if that makes any sense. I know that I do this a lot where I would just want to do everything. Everything, everything. So, like, even this semester, I signed up for 3 classes, and doing that along with work and with, you know, having a child is just too much. I don't know why I did that. So I'm reading that as kind of like trying to do it all, trying to have the world in your hands. And maybe you should, maybe that was a little bit too far fetched. Maybe you should, I don't want to say back off, but maybe we should tailor that down a little bit so that you can achieve something. These are people to me. Straight up, these, this doesn't even seem like an idea. This just says people to me. So someone either that you know, I don't want to necessarily say from your past, but someone has fond memories of you, images of you or us, and that's this Knight of Pentacles here. Could be earth energy, but not necessarily thinking that. One thing that is, I mean, these cards are a little bit dark, but I think they're both going towards the light, right? So I'm reading that, and both of these energies, one is warm, one is cold, but they even each other out. So I see this as a pairing for me, even though the Six of Cups traditionally has 2 people in it, but not in this deck. So I read this as 2 people coming together, but possibly 2 people who are a little bit too much in their heads. And I think that's also what the Seven of Wands may be about as well. Because this is a battle, right? Like, you kind of defending yourself. Maybe just don't over defend yourself. Actually, I had a colleague say to me recently where she said, "Why are you doing favors for people who don't like you?" Because I just felt like I was working so hard and getting nowhere, and I just thought about that. I said, "Oh, why am I doing that? Is it a people pleasing thing? Is it a like reputation thing?" So I think that maybe, I don't want to say give up the fight, but don't fight as hard or obsess too much about a decision. See how he's not even gripping both wands here? And I think that's important because you know what you really want. He can't even have, look, when he's trying to have the whole world in his hands, he can't even carry both of his wands. And that's important, right? You can't have the whole world. And that's not to say you can't be powerful and you can't be in charge or anything like that. But, if you try to do too much, it will come toppling down. And that's more the message of like collaboration. And that's not to say that you can't be like super independent. You absolutely can be, and you can be a badass, awesome person. You can have this 10 of Cups that comes from you, like building up your own life. I just think that, I think that's what this is saying, is like trying to have the whole world, but maybe you get the world after some collaboration, whether that's in work or in love. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want to clarify, though, a little bit the Tower. Even though I think I'm reading it accurately, I'm going to... Ooh, there we go. We have the Hierophant. Interesting. And the Page of Wands in reverse. Okay, I'm actually not reading this as a person. I'm reading... This is a message that's a delay. Okay. Okay. All right. Yes. Ooh. Okay. So I want you just to trust in the universe and trust in, I don't know whether you believe in a higher power. I would hope that you do, or maybe just maybe you just believe in vibes in general. But I do think that what's meant to be will be. And that's not to say that we can't change our own destiny. We definitely can. I think you have to have a little bit more faith. And I think you're impatient because you're waiting on a message, or you're waiting for even maybe some kind of secrecy. Maybe you're waiting on some kind of secrecy to collapse. Like, when is this person going to be held accountable? Or when is this person going to have to deal with what they have done? Whether they've hurt you or hurt your team or left you or whatever. Someone did something sneaky, or something not right, and we're waiting on that change to happen. Um, I know exactly who I'm thinking about. We're waiting to be like this victorious. Um, but this is a shallow victory. So I think if you rush it, it will not be good. But ultimately, know that if this is for the tower, all this, usually when things come in the reverse, I read it as a delay. I know you're wanting that message of like, oh my God, did you hear about so and so? He finally got caught cheating. Oh, did you hear about so and so from the office? She finally sent an email that revealed that she stole my idea, or whatever the case may be. I know that you're impatient and you're hurting a little bit and you're waiting for people to be held accountable and for like the lies to have fallen apart. It will come, but you have to have faith. There's a little bit of a delay in that, but it doesn't mean it won't happen. Because remember, that 10 of Cups just flew right out. So there is something happy coming our way. I believe it. I feel like I've read that without... Okay, well, let's ask one more thing. The Emperor and the King of Wands. Can you... Whoa. 6 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, it's not two different people. It's not two different people. Oh, okay. Alright, maybe this is the person that you're crushing on, or someone that there's some kind of idea of someone not being able to move on. I would say, because the 6 of Swords is like a traveling card, and in the reverse it means either there's like a delay. Maybe there's a delay in this King of Wands reaching his final form, which is the Emperor, right? I would say someone can't, whether it's you or your person or your boss or your colleague or your friend. I guess most people don't watch horoscopes for their friends, but there's someone in this situation who cannot move on, or there's a delay in moving on. Moving on is taking a while, and that's why this King of Wands is not becoming this Emperor quite yet. It will happen. It always happens. You always reach your final form, but there's something holding this King of Wands back. Whether that's you, maybe you have fire placements and you're a King of Wands. If it is you, then I would say we need to work on letting stuff go. I mean, look at this, like, and acknowledging what we have to move on. I've got a Leo moon. I definitely have to do that myself. If it's your person, maybe he or she or they, what have you, is still thinking about an ex, still afraid to move towards you. I don't think it'll be forever that you'll be waiting, because one day you're going to reach this 10 of Cups, but you got it. In terms of career, it could just be that something is holding back, either like maybe it's holding back, maybe your boss is this King of Wands and something is holding him or her back from giving you some kind of news, or like giving you that promotion that you wanted. But ultimately the King of Wands does become, the Emperor. At least I would hope. All right, any one last clarifying card? I would like some confirmation. Ooh, did I do it right? Did I read it right? Yes! What did I... Oh my God. Y'all, look at this. It's the 8 of Cups. What did I tell you? I said there's a delay in moving on, but ultimately someone always grows from it, travels on. Yeah, confirmation. Oh, spirit is good. Oh, lordy. One day, this King of Wands is going to become the Emperor, okay? That's just, whether that's you, your person, your boss, somebody, your dad, your mom, I don't even know. We all have masculine and feminine, so don't think about that. Throw that bit away. But male, female, they, them, whatever, non-binary, it doesn't matter. Someday this King of Wands is going to become this Emperor. He's being held back right now. There's something that he, she, they, whatever is struggling with. There's a little bit of a holdup, but ultimately the transformation will happen, okay? Ultimately, you will reach this Eight of Cups where you're moving on into somewhere better. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, Knight of Cups. That's just a little delay, okay? You got a lovey-dovey message or something that's going to make your heart sing. Let's move the deck. Oh my God. I split the deck. I got the Ten of Pentacles. Now, in reverse doesn't mean nothing. This is a happy, awesome card for me. And actually, this deck, they don't give a whole lot reversal-wise. One day, you're going to reach this Ten of Pentacles. We good. We good. All right, let's do some clarification. How do we want to clarify this today, you guys? Don't want the crow? No. I want this one. I'm going to use this Future Higher Self Oracle deck. Let's look at some messages. What messages does Spirit have for us? Cancerians. I'm liking this, y'all. It's just a bit of a delay. We got to be patient. We've got some delays, but there's some kind of partnership or collaboration coming. I will take it in any sense. Honestly, I like a good work environment, a good creative environment. I like a good relationship. It's all good to me. Woo! You are a beacon for others to follow, so don't hide the bright light you are. Is someone making you feel down about yourself? Don't let them. Don't let them. You're good. You're good. And look how that, you know that's for us too, right? Look how it's on the sea. Look at this water. Watery light. Even the ocean is dark. Oh, and that's appropriate too, because both these have like a really dark ocean. And the darkness in the ocean is horrifying, right? You don't know where you're going. You don't know what's happening, but you don't have to be afraid. You are the light that you need. Any of y'all seen Shadow and Bone? You are your own protection, your own light. Oh, that wanted to come out. Oh, this is one of my favorite cards. You are currently under construction. Please be patient. That's a very, very important thing for you to remember. You are allowed to be a work of art and a work in progress at the same time, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect. Some of us get so caught up on being perfectionists. You don't need it, all right? You're going to be all right. Let's get one more. Why is that song in my head? This is the song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Some people started singing and not knowing what it was, but they'll just keep on singing it. Lamb Chop. Did anyone watch Lamb Chop? Nay. Your dreams are never farther than you can reach. I like to see that. That sounds good. Let's make it work. We can do this. All right? You know, maybe I heard that song. I have the world here and I have the Fool, and the Fool is a 0. 0 is a circle. Everything goes, okay, that's the message. Everything comes full circle eventually. Eventually, it comes to light. The people gonna get caught for what they're doing. You might not feel as good about it as you want to. Just saying. But eventually, you will get this. Oh, and look at the circle in the bubble. The circle and the Ten of Pentacles here. Look at that. Everything comes full circle. We got a lot of circles here. See, why did I want to cover that? Because that's a message. That's a message. All right. And look at the circle in the sun. Remember? That was the first thing that came out. This is good. There's a little bit of a delay. I know we're hurting. Something's got us down and something, but there's a bit of a delay, but ultimately we're going to move on to better, higher things. There's something good coming. Let's do a spill. Give me a message for Cancer. Oh, interesting. Can we get one more? Ooh. Interesting. 1, or I, if you read it in Chinese, which is also ichi, or ir in Korean. Huh. You know, I'm hearing that phrase song. It's like, be the one only. Wait for me. Let me be your only one. Oh, that's what it is. It's wait for me. Remember how I said something's holding this person back? Just wait for it. Because this 6 of Swords in reverse is going to turn into the 8 of Cups. And you will be the one. Oh, interesting. All right. We've got the hotel. You could be, there's a lot of travel in this. We got the lighthouse. We've got these 2 ships, 6 of Cups and 8 of Cups. You could be traveling. That could be significant, or this could be your final form. Remember how in Monopoly you get a greenhouse to start? And you put it on there, and you got to get a certain amount of greenhouses to turn it into a hotel to get more money. But one day you're going to get to this, okay? So it could be maybe a little displacement or travel, but ultimately I read it as a good thing. Is anybody Irish here? Scottish, kind of. That might be significant. This is also, like, this is a matchbook, right? You remember, I'm dating myself here, but it used to be that they had, you know, smoking and non-smoking sections in both planes, which is insane now that you think about it. But in planes and in restaurants, which is dumb because the smoke just goes anywhere. But these used to be ubiquitous. These used to be like if you went out to eat, right? You would get these little matchbooks that would they would give to you to remind you to, like, because every time you used it, every time you lit up a cigarette or a joint or whatever you do, you know, you would, or a candle, you'd remember the restaurant, you want to go back. So it was kind of like advertising. But you don't see those anymore. So it could be that something that used to be there all the time isn't there anymore, and you are missing it. But I wouldn't fret about it because look, don't let it dim your light. These make light, don't they? You have to be the one to make it though, right? These don't just burst, well, knock on wood. I don't want them to burst into flame. But you have to take the match out and strike it in order to make it create the flame. You have the power to do it. You have all the tools you need. The only other thing I would say is maybe Pennsylvania is significant to you. My camera's not focusing, but we got the Sheraton in York in Pennsylvania and the Sheraton Inn in Frederick. Maybe the Sheraton. Oh, that's another hotel. Interesting. Lots of hotel stuff today. Maybe the name Fred is important, or Frederick, or Maryland. That's the middle state. The lead pipe. I read this more as protection, even though who carries the lead pipe with them as protection. But I don't read it as the murder weapon, although it is from Clue. But I'm reading this more as like protection. I think you have to protect yourself, which is always a good idea. The wheelbarrow, just remember to keep things in balance. You know, it came out like this, right? So it might be a little imbalanced right now, but if you put both hands on it, oh, look at that. It goes back to this. Look, he can't even have both hands on there because he's so busy holding the whole world in his hands. Maybe if you drop the whole world in his hands, you can get both sides of this and balance it out. The whole world in your hands. So maybe you're biting off a little more than you can chew. 1 second. All right, and last couple things to talk about. So interesting that came out here, where we say your dreams are never farther than you can reach, and then we have Tiwaz. I hope I'm saying that right, but this is the rune for victory, but not without sacrifice, right? I'm trying to make this camera focus. It is not working, but y'all get the idea. It looks like it looks like an arrow, but also like a spear. But the arrow points to the message, right? Your dreams are never farther than you can reach. And right past that was the Fool. So you will have victory, but not without sacrifice. That's one thing to remember. And then Neptune, well, that has a lot to do with us water babies, doesn't it? So Neptune has, well, it's the ruler of Pisces, so Pisces could be significant. But then we also have, I think, the exaltations in Cancer, and I think there's some Virgo energy too. I believe it's like the 12th house, so the number 12 could be important. I mean, 12 is important through all of our society, but that could be important. And I think Neptune takes like 14 or 15 years to go through everything. So that might be something significant, is like give yourself the time to go through things. Neptune sure does. It's also a little cold, right? Like it's kind of far from the sun. So, you know, don't dim your light. I mean, we've gotten that message a little bit here, right? I mean, we have the sun, which is the most light, and Leo energy, if I'm honest. The most light and the happiest thing, and then it says you're a beacon for others to follow. Yeah, there is a message of light here. Even though you might feel a little bit in the dark, obviously Neptune is a little dark, but not in a bad way. The darkness also makes you shine, right? So maybe if you're in darkness, you be your own light because you can make it happen. I forgot to read you the bottom of the deck. There we go. See, what a perfect message to close it out on. Following your heart will lead to the right things. There's nothing more true than that. Cancer, I hope you've enjoyed your message. I certainly have. I'm looking forward to all this healthy collaboration in any sense of the word. And I know that I definitely have to give up trying to have control of the whole world in order to get the world. Does that make any sense? If you give up the world, you give up trying to control the whole world, you might get the whole world in response. All right, thank you so much. Love you all. Have a good spring. Looks like you're about to.